Welcome to this very first video of my new YouTube channel that I'll be commenting in English. So, welcome to Football Facts Bites. I'll be examining the Galatasaray and Liverpool Champions League game for tonight, and I'll just start with the possession and passing stats. Both Galatasaray and Liverpool have similar possession figures, and also their successful passes per game figures are really close. These two teams are not typical possession teams. These two teams are the teams that play with high press, high energy, and direct attack approach mostly. And I think that will be the same tonight as well. When we switch to XG related stats, we can see that Galatasaray has really high average per game, over 2 XG per game, and below 1 on their own goal. So 2 XG per game and below 1 XGA per game is really good. And that's not the case for Liverpool. Liverpool has right now 1.39 XG. These are non-penalty figures, and 1.15 XGA, and so these figures are close, and Liverpool don't want to be there in this graph in the season end. That was for quantity in XG, and as for quality in XG, again penalties excluded, Galatasaray has an XG average per shot for their team 0.125, and the XGA average is 0.092, which is good. And this, just a hint, 0.11 is the global average in this one. So if your XG average is above 0.11, that is good, and if it's below 0.11 for your own goal, that is good as well. And in terms of Liverpool is failing on this front again. Their average shot XG4 is 0.093, which is below the average of 0.11, and their XG against is 0.117. So it means that they are not shooting as good as they should, and it looks like they are allowing high quality shots at their own goal. Since we define both these teams as high tempo, quick tempo, high energy, and direct attacking teams, I just wanted to check their pressure related stats as well. And when we start with high turnovers, we can see that Galatasaray, with their average of 8.6, are third place in their league respectively, and Liverpool has only average of 5.5, which makes them on the 12th place in the Premier League, which is not good enough for them. In the shot ending high turnover average, Galatasaray has 1.7, while Liverpool has 1, but their average of 1 takes them up to the 6th place, while Galatasaray moves down to 4th. And in terms of goal ending high turnovers, because it's early in the season, the numbers are not that high and their averages are a little bit deceiving. But Galatasaray with 0.4 is leading, and Liverpool has only 1, which makes their average 0.2 and gets them into 2nd place. In build-up attacks, which consists of open play game sequences where there's at least 10 passes before the shot or the touch in the opposition box in the end, and Liverpool has 4 average, and they are in 3rd place in the Premier League, while Galatasaray's 3.4 average means they're leading this stat. And direct attacks, which means that the attacks the ball was regained really close to the midfield, and almost half of the actions are towards the opposition goal, and the sequence ends again with a shot or touch in the opposition box. Galatasaray has an average of 2.6, again, which makes them leaders in the Turkish Super League, while Liverpool has an average of 2, which makes them 2nd place in the Premier League. So this is interesting because both teams have high build-up attacks and direct attacks at the same time. Usually it's one of the either. It's not usually both, but good teams that have diverse attacking plans have these. Direct speed, in terms of direct speed, Liverpool is in 8th place with their 1.82 meters per second direct speed, while Galatasaray with their 1.62 are in 17th place in the 18-team league, so they're not in good place for a team that we consider to be directly attacking. The PPDA values, where the passes per defensive action, meaning that the number of attempts that you try to regain the ball in the final third of the pitch, Galatasaray has an average of 8, so which means that they apply pressure in every 8 passes to the opposition, while Liverpool, the figure stays on 9.7. These both figures are good PPDA values, but Galatasaray is a better high attacking team. To wrap things up, these stats that we've compared are not actually comparable, because Turkish Super League and English Premier League are not comparable leagues in terms of quality. That's unfortunate for the Turkish Super League, of course, and that's what I think Galatasaray suffered last time against Eintracht Frankfurt, because Galatasaray doesn't play games like that. The minutes trailing in terms of scores for Galatasaray last season was only 189 minutes. And in the 3 seasons that Okan Buruk was in charge, and this season, ongoing season, they played only 600 minutes trailing the score. So they're not used to falling behind in games, and they're not used to playing in an underdog game plan, which Galatasaray definitely needs in the Champions League. They're dominant, high energy, high pressure, and their hasty attacking, I can say, method of play does not suit them well in the European competitions. It happened in the last 2 seasons as well, and that's what happened against Eintracht Frankfurt. While Liverpool are much more experienced, and their plan A works for them, but Galatasaray need a plan B, which they are not able to practice in the league at all. That's the biggest problem for them, and Galatasaray definitely needs a more conservative, a little bit more defensive, a little bit more reactive method to play against Liverpool. But I think unless Okan Buruk again chooses to play with 3 defenders in the back with Abdülkerim, Davinson, and Singo, and then their wing backs will be a problem, because Galatasaray do not have strong enough players to challenge Liverpool's wingers and fullbacks in this formation, because then it will be 1 against 2 for the flanks, and which Liverpool would probably exploit a lot. And if Galatasaray decide to play really up high with high energy, again, any possession that they lose, with Liverpool with their attacking players really effectively, will just get down to Galatasaray goal, and then they might create a lot of dangerous positions for Uğurcan. I'm really curious how the game will turn up.